When is Rahul Gandhi and Mallikarjun Kharge expected to visit Srinagar and campaign for the Jammu and Kashmir election?
Rahul ji was here he's been here twice since the election was announced. Kharge ji has been here once. In the forthcoming days, we will see Rahul ji and Kharge ji make various visits. It's not just about whether they are here or not. It's also about the kind of promises they are making and what we are telling the people of Jammu and Kashmir. His message is resonating. He did a very successful Bharat Jodo Yatra, which culminated in Kashmir. And I still remember the 31st of January 2023. I get goosebumps when I think about it. It was snowing, and he spoke to people from his heart and spoke about his relationship with Jammu and Kashmir. So I do believe that he's going to be here soon, and he'll be making multiple trips, not just in Kashmir, but also in Jammu.
Jammu is considered to be the stronghold of Congress. What is the ground situation there? What are your expectations?
I am very hopeful both in Kashmir and in Jammu, and I'll tell you why. The issues of both regions are very similar. There is rampant unemployment. Government posts are lying vacant. The reality is that crime rates have gone up. The reality is that people are reeling under high prices. The reality is that mining, land, liquor, all of these contracts have been given to outsiders. So there is a sense of alienation both as far as Jammu and Kashmir are concerned. Yes, we are contesting more seats in Jammu, and I'm very hopeful of results there as well as here. When you are in an alliance, you fight together. There are some seats where we run for friendly contest, but that happens all the time.
Of course, the Congress has a strong alliance with the NC, but there is also this aspect of friendly contest in several constituencies. How is that working?
It's a reality of politics. We are not Siamese twins. We have not been cut from the same cloth. We have a different political unit here. NC has a different political unit. There were some seats on which we could not come to terms on one candidate. And so there will be a friendly contest, which I am sure we will win them all. I'm very certain about that. But I will tell you one thing. Too much is being made of it. The NCP, Ajit Pawar, is in alliance with BJP in Maharashtra, fighting against them in Haryana. JDU is in alliance. They're fighting against them in Haryana. Political parties eventually will see the interests of their cadres and also their leadership. You have to listen to your leaders on the ground.
Okay. Then there is also an increasing feeling that the voice of separatists and their supporters is growing, especially in the valley region. And the bail that Rashid Engineer has got, and he is actively campaigning now, is it going to make any impact in the valley?
I'm going to step back and look at a bigger picture here. This government in the center has been now there for 98 days. It has been 98 days since Mr. Modi was sworn in. I was just looking at the numbers. There have been 26 terror strikes in Jammu and in Kashmir in these last 98 days. There are about 22 brave hearts who have lost their lives from armed forces. Over 40 of them are injured in various hospitals across the region and in the country. Over 15 of our civilians have lost their lives. About 43 of them have been gravely injured. Who's responsible for it? You've been in power for 5 years. You have indirectly ruled Jammu Kashmir through your LG for the last 5 years. Indirectly in the last 10 years, you've been here. And when the system, and when we see law and order's complete collapse, it is going to be pinned on you. The Home Minister comes and makes some fancy statements. The Prime Minister comes and makes some fancy statements. The reality is that one thing has changed. Since 2019 onwards, the Prime Minister has stopped tweeting one word of condolence, one word of appreciation, one word of, consoling the families of our brave hearts. You pick up the tweets before 2019 and pick up the tweets after. There are officers who've lost their lives, there are brave hearts, there are police officials, not a word from the Prime Minister. Just because you are not going to talk about it doesn't mean it is not happening. And if indeed everything is hunky-dory, then why could you not contest an election? Why did you run away from a contest in Baramulla? Why did you run away from a contest in Anantnag? Why did you run away from a contest in Srinagar? So I think the government has a lot to answer.
The final question is about Kashmir's apple growers. Initially, imported apples were coming from America and New Zealand. Now, there are more apples coming from Iran and Turkey, and the apple growers of Kashmir are feeling the pinch. Yeah. What is the Congress going to do to support them?
And not just feeling the pinch. They're not just feeling the pinch because these markets are being flooded by apples from outside, but look at the prices. The procurement prices for apples here is not as good as it should be. So I think one of the things that we will be looking at is better procurement prices. We were seeing a similar situation in Himachal before our government was formed. We ended the monopoly of Adani there, and we ensured that there is more just and more fair compensation that they receive, more fair procurement prices that they get. So I think these are various things one will have to look into it. There has to be a more holistic view as far as apple growers are concerned. We will do one thing and not do the other is not going to solve their problems. I also think, you know, apples from Kashmir are famous the world over. It's a pity that apple from other parts of the world are crowding markets in Kashmir.